Hey guys, Super Nerd Miles here with my long overdue next part of Disney's ToonTown Online. Because of its long overdue-ness, as well as something else we'll get to in a moment, I'm going to make this all 12 of the remaining gag track tasks, instead of chugging through at a rate of like 3 per episode. I'm also going to go mock speed on this because I really just need to talk about news and stuff and don't want to waste time on live commentary, especially since the live commentary on these parts is more than a year old. Because of the post-commentary and the vast amount of things I need to talk about, I'm making this combination Let's Play Disney's ToonTown Online Part 16 and Channel Update number 5. Since there's so much to talk about and only 17 or so minutes to talk about it in, let's just jump right in. Ready, steady, go! Alright, before I get to the channel update stuff, how about I cover what's going on in this Toontown part? As I said, I'm covering the 12 remaining gag frame training tasks. For those of you who have forgotten what those are, which I don't blame you since it's been so darn long since I've recorded, or tuning in for the channel update but don't usually watch my Toontown Let's Play and don't know about the mechanics of Toontown, here's a quick explanation/reminder. At the beginning of most neighborhoods, one of the NPC tunes will give you a choice between one of 2 gag tracks, which essentially are move categories. You choose one of them, and then you have to go through 15 gag frame training tasks, which instead of the longer visit tasks I've been making the focus of the rest of my Let's Play so far are short and simple. Instead of essentially a scavenger hunt throughout the neighborhood you're in, you simply have to defeat a few cogs. The only points of variance are numbers and categories, so that would go from a certain number of cogs, which is the most vague and therefore the most easy, to a category of cogs, which are Sellbots, Cashbots, Lawbots, and Bossbots. A certain level, so like defeat so many cogs that are at least level 2 or anything like that, or defeat a certain number of a certain species of cog, like double talkers, for example. And the numbers that you have to defeat usually go in the are usually inversely proportionate to the number of to the vagueness of the mission. The more vague it is, scratch that. That would be directly proportionate. Deviating from scripts is not a good idea usually. So if it's very vague, the numbers will also be higher. So it may be defeat 5 cogs, or 3 Lawbots, or 1 or 2 flunkies. Which is good game design, you know? It definitely makes sense. Also, many of the gag track training tasks are usually limited to the playground you're currently in, as opposed to more general anywhere tasks that you may find in the middle of visit tasks. So you may have to defeat 5 cogs in Toontown Central instead of 5 cogs anywhere, or something like that. And it's definitely worth note that you don't get all 15 tasks at once. The game generally handpicks the tasks you can choose from to keep you from doing all of one type at once. So you won't do all of your visit tasks at once, or all of your gag track training tasks at once. It'll, if you take too much of one, it'll pretty much stop giving you that one and start giving you more and more of the other. So why and how do I have all of these gag track training tasks in the same place? Well, I made the executive decision to save the footage and upload it all at once before the task that acts as the finale for the neighborhood, which is the final gag track training task that gives you the 16th frame, which will unlock the gag track and move you on to the next neighborhood. This does mean that for those of you who are paying close attention to the video and the rest of the Let's Play, my laugh or health and the numbers and levels of gags that I own will jump around all the time, as when I had to do a visit task, I would do it for the main LP, but when it stopped giving me visit tasks, I would do some gag frame tasks and just save them until now. In fact, my Toontown viewers may remember, I believe I unlocked my level 3 throw and squirt gags during one of these, so I would have started my next visit task inexplicably with those gags. Well, here's the explanation now, I guess. It wasn't my best idea, definitely, but I stuck with it, and you're pretty much just seeing the fruits of my editing labor right here and now. So, them's the basics of what's going on in the background. Well, for the rest of this, I'm just going to tune that out and talk about business. Why I haven't been uploading for the past several months, and what I've missed telling you in that time, and what I'm going to change about my channel going forward in the future. First, it's not the first time I've had a giant absence. This channel's been around for nearly 2 years now, and I'm really only active in the summers. This is because when school is back in, which for those of you who haven't seen the tag video a while back and or haven't calculated how much my age has changed since then, I'm currently a senior in high school, only a month or two away from graduation. I have lots of homework and am typically very busy. As a result, when I'm not doing homework, I'm usually relaxing and trying to get a load off by playing random video games. And since I'm a major procrastinator, I don't really consider editing videos as relaxing, so they usually don't get done unless I can force up some major willpower and get it done. Like now, for example. And yes, this is bad, I know, and I'm trying to work on it, but it's led to, over the course of 2 years, a summer of ToonTown uploads, a summer of Pokemon Ruby uploads, with little else in between. So, what have I missed telling you guys because I've been procrastinating? Well, for those of you who haven't already heard, ToonTown is closed. Has been for around half a year now. That's how bad I am at uploading during the school year. So, why am I going back to uploading ToonTown content if there's no more ToonTown? Because I've recorded a certain amount of content, enough to get the LP to a decent stopping point where I can at least claim that I didn't stop an LP in the middle. I recorded the finale of all the content from ToonTown Central, which is the first neighborhood and the only one available in free-to-play. So I'll be uploading that as soon as I can, which will hopefully be in the next month or so. And for the there are also several bonus videos just of various content that I wanted to show but never got far enough to show. But there are several videos worth of content. Now, for those of you who want to keep playing ToonTown even though it's closed and are, quite frankly, devastated that it's closed, there is a fan-made version of ToonTown in development called ToonTown Rewritten. Still in closed alpha as far as I know, as far as I've heard, but from what I've heard / somewhat seen, they're going for faithful recreation of ToonTown, but with the addition of some faithful programmers that will update the game more than once every few years. It'll also be free, unlike ToonTown that has, or had, a free trial, but after that required a recurring payment to keep playing. I'll go ahead and link you to that in the description. Now, will I play Rewritten? Probably. Will I Let's Play Rewritten? No clue, and I wouldn't tell you if I did know, because either way, it'll be a long time in the future, and I'm not going to commit to any LP that I'm not really just ready to start. Now, on that note, someone who is playing Rewritten already, who has an alpha key, unlike me, and does live streams of it fairly regularly, is Smirky Live. Smirky is one of my friends that was just devastated by ToonTown closing, and I can tell he's really happy for Rewritten. So if you want to see more ToonTown gameplay after I'm done with it, especially Rewritten because it's going to be moving forward and probably progressing past the point that ToonTown ever did, I really recommend checking its channel out. Link will once again be in the description. So now that I've covered what's going on as pertaining to ToonTown, what will I be doing after finishing uploading all my ToonTown footage? Well, it's back to Pokemon Ruby. I have so much footage recorded that I need to edit and upload, and I really want to go ahead and get to that. I have a few more videos with solo commentary, but after that, the rest of them are all guest commentated, at least so far, by one of my best friends, Leaf. Assuming that I can find and sort out all the commentary files and don't have to post-commentate half of them, at least. I want to get those Ruby vids out as quickly as possible, and then I want to keep recording and finish up the game. But while I'm talking about Ruby, let me say this. Ruby was originally meant as a casual Let's Play before I jumped into really informative Let's Plays like Chuck Conroy does, but one thing that I've realized is that I just really don't like the amount of work behind that. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that I'm lazy, and I'm definitely not saying that I don't like those kinds of LPs. But Chugga, well, I believe Chugga said before that he wants to be a professional video editor, quote-unquote, when he grows up. And I don't. The editing is part of the fun for him, I guess, but honestly, it's the tedious part that turns me into a mega procrastinator. Plus, as my friend Chazars pointed out to me a few days ago, Let's Playing isn't really unique anymore. I'm one of thousands of Let's Players, and if you search YouTube, there are thousands of Let's Plays out there. If I carried out my original plans to do ultra-informative Let's Plays like Chugga, or heck, just about anyone, the Let's Plays would end up becoming cheap imitations of already successful Let's Plays, and, let's be honest, would be largely unnoticed. If I want any chance at being a successful Let's Player, I pretty much just need to blaze my own path. Stop it with Chugga's epic no! Stop it with a no, I missed! Well, okay, maybe not on that one, because, well, Chugga made it popular, but that's the kind of thing that lots of people have just latched onto because it's just so funny. It's a video game catchphrase, not a Let's Player catchphrase, but I digress. My point is, stop imitating other LPers and make my own way. And now that really poetic speech is out of the way, let me tell you about my plan that involves taking little pieces from several LPers at once and combining them together in a way that hopefully won't be called plagiarizing at all. So, here's a plan. My Let's Plays after RWBY will remain casual like RWBY is or was supposed to be at least. The only information that I'll start giving out is the stuff I remember off the top of my head or just really want to look up and share because of how interesting it is. Like, types, various basic information about Pokemon, like their types, general stats that I remember, things like that. Or the way that I've been reading off Brendan's dialogue whenever we run into May, because that's just interesting. Keeping it casual will cut down on the editing, hopefully only requiring enough editing to fact check and make sure I'm not leading you guys astray, and hopefully that will lead to me getting a lot more videos out. Also, after RWBY, well, they may not be Let's Plays anymore. I may end up doing some Let's Streams, kind of like the way that Super Skarmory's been doing recently. I'll be creating a Twitch account. Technically, I already have one, but I really haven't done anything but test out my software on it anyway, and I kind of just want a different username, so I'm just going to create a new one to start from scratch. And third time I say this, but link in the description. I highly recommend you check it out, because even before I'm done with RWBY, I'll probably be doing some streams just for kicks and giggles. When I do a Let's Stream itself, I'll stream for probably 2 or 3 hours, start uploading the footage to this channel. Whenever I run out of footage to upload, I'll do another session of the Let's Stream. If I stream at other times, it'll probably be somewhat like Proton John's fortune cookie streams, but done in my own way. And I will explain that one more later, because I don't want to think about all the details until a few days before my first one of those streams. And for other possible uploads to my channel, I'll be slightly reworking the whole Super Nerd Rambling concept, maybe even just making a whole new feature with a whole new name, and using that. I'll be using that to give you the informative stuff that will be kept out of the LPs themselves. But who knows? My plans may change before I get that far. If they do, I will tell you then, but that's something to look forward to in the future. On that note, however, feel free to pester me in comments, PMs, etc. if I get to procrastinating, because I know you guys are just itching for new videos. I know I joked in like my very first video that I didn't want to be like Proton John and edit or upload once every few months, but quite honestly, I more or less have. But if I know that very specifically you guys are just itching for a new part, that will do a lot for my willingness to get back to editing. This video was honestly still getting procrastinated until Chazars asked me a few days ago when I was gonna get back to editing and uploading and stuff. So before I end everything off, I should slip in a note about some of my other plans that are kind of on ice. Pokemon RWBY was originally a delaying tactic for a Let's Play of Pokemon Conquest, but I delayed it since I didn't have the format together yet to stick 2 screens onto a single video. For that matter, I'm still not too sure about how I'm going to do it. I'm kind of just winging it for some test recordings I've done. Conquest stands where it did earlier, more or less, on delay. For that matter, it will probably be the focus of one of my first Let's Streams, although it might not work the same as other Let's Streams because of the nature of its gameplay, but that's a topic for another time. Also, announced at the same time as Conquest was a series of videos on Pokebattlers, a site created by the creator of a Pokemon-based forum I was also a member of. Well, Pokebattlers closed at around the same time as ToonTown, and since I hadn't even started uploading Pokebattlers vids, that series is completely cancelled. So sorry to any of you who were curious to see what Pokebattlers was. It was essentially, it wasn't really all that much. Honestly, it's the kind of thing that could have probably been a Facebook game. It was one of those games you just collect resources, spend them on items, catch Pokemon, attack other people, and it was fun, but it just wasn't all that much, and it was costing Niet, the creator too much for too little return, so it closed. So that's completely canceled. Well, that should cover everything. In summary, sorry for not uploading more over the past couple of years. I intend to change that going forward. ToonTown is closed, but I have footage recorded that I will be uploading regardless to get to a good stopping place. Poke Battlers is closed. That LP is totally canceled. After I get ToonTown footage out, it is back to Pokemon Ruby, and hopefully I can get that out as quickly as possible as well. After that, tentatively, I will start doing Let's Streams. In the meantime, I may be doing random streams, playing totally random games and stuff. In fact, there may or may not be a test live stream in the next couple of days, so I highly recommend you click the link in the description to go to my new Twitch channel and follow it so that you will get email notifications when I start streaming. For now, my next video will either be ToonTown related, like this one, or an announcement of some sort of live stream, because I really do hope to start getting everything set up soon. Stay tuned for more information, and I will hopefully see you guys real soon. Miles out.